Good morning. How nice to see you all here. And welcome, as everyone previous has said, to the 29th Winter Conference and the 40th anniversary of the founding of Save the River. This St. Lawrence River, and many of us call it the river, what a magnificent resource which we work very hard to protect, preserve, and restore. An incredible resource, and what a responsibility we have to move forward for the health of this river. Over these 40 years, we have had many, many challenges, met by our dedicated members, you. Those citizens who in 1978 became the founders of Save the River had already had considerable success in assisting with the cleanup of the largest inland oil spill, the oil spill of 1976, which you may remember was commemorated by that wonderful musical, The Slick of 76, which was a lot better than the spill. The specific motivation, as has been noted, for the founding was the opposition to the Army Corps of Engineers' proposal for year-round navigation and deepening the channel. We are still concerned with dates of opening and closing. And if you remember last month and the problems that happened in the closing, you will understand that there is still much to be done. The next big project was, quote, the Alternative Sewage Disposal Methods Handbook. This was a wide-ranging and very successful volunteer testing of people's septic systems. At that time, there was a great deal of raw sewage going right into the river. So, of course, I volunteered to have people come out and test our system because I was certain that everything was fine. Some amount of money later, our problems were solved, but it was a really great program. It was at this time, though, that funds were low and we saw many challenges ahead. Though the board of directors was expanded to enable us to increase our work and help our budget. The board became more diverse in terms of expanding the region of interest, in terms of summer folks, year-round residents, Republicans, Democrats, independents. I have been on many boards in my long lifetime, and one of the very special aspects of this Save the River board to this day is that none of that matters. What matters is the river. It was at this time, too, that the Heron Marsh logo was created, representing all the positive environmental contributions and activities the organization performs saving the river. Early on, this winter conference started Friday evening with a preview of an auction. Saturday morning programs, Saturday evening, the auction, dinner, speaker, and in the afternoon, our great local ornithologist, Jerry Smith, would take us out on a bird trek. So one Saturday, we got in our cars and we drove east on Route 12, went to a roadside pull-off, gazed across the river at an island with trees, and we said, that's a bald eagle. This was a time when there were very few bald eagles that could be sighted. We were very excited. We thought it was a bald eagle. It turned out to be a plastic bag in a tree. But other treks were more successful. Over the years, we have had and continue to have many problems and challenges. For example, water levels, invasive species. And I know that today you will gain much good information on some of these and others, and on some of the accomplishments. Certainly Plan 2014 is one of the most important of these accomplishments. And we are grateful to the International Joint Commission, who worked so hard developing the plan, and their persistence over the years, and there have been long years, for its success. It is a great achievement, and we are so pleased to be able to honor them today. We have developed additional programs working with others, the TURN research program, and you'll be updated on that today as well. Shoal marking, which is sponsored by the Thousand Islands Association of Canada, and some of you may be faithful volunteers. It's a very important program for your safety on the river. Our muskie and bass catch and release programs are becoming the Upper St. Lawrence River Keeper, and our education programs, specifically in the schools. I think in the schools program will continue to be one of our most significant achievements. With strong leadership over the past 9 or 10 years, this program, and now I'll give you some statistics, in the 2016-2017 school year had 451 students from 9 schools in trips on the water, with groups from 40 to over 80 children. Many of these kids had never been on the river, and some of them had never seen the river. The Junior Riverkeeper programs trained 557 children to be good river stewards. These students ranged in age from kindergarten to AP high school biology students. Additionally, in the schools program developed curriculum for kindergarten through 3rd grade classrooms, did an outreach program for schools as well as a school docent program, assisting with the designing and development of the book Haas, the Great Blue Heron, and building an interactive display for children so they could see the size of the heron, its nest, and its important characteristics, as well as developing, writing, and implementing a curriculum for teachers to use with the book in the classroom. This has been an exciting addition to the program. Furthermore, 228 students from schools participated in additional Haas experience at JCC and Tilt camps. I would suggest you might want to check SaveTheRiver.org website to get more information on some of these programs. Another really significant move, I think, a move forward, was increasing participation on the board with Canadian members. Working with Canadian organizations strengthens us. When we talk about our river, it is Canadian and American. And all of these are only part of the challenges and accomplishments thanks to you, thanks to our great board, and our wonderful staff. But there is much yet to be done, and we need all of us and more. On a personal note, all 3 of our children and our 5 grandchildren and their families, none of whom, unfortunately, live near the river, but all are members of Save the River. Every vacation was always here, and they learn much and have much love for this magnificent resource. Our youngest grandson, who is a 28-year-old nuclear engineer, last month wrote the following to me, quote, "I have been going to the river ever since I was born, and it has become a part of who I am. I live in a city, work behind a computer, but when I come to the river, none of that matters. From the moment I arrive to the time I leave, none of that matters. The river is an escape from the trials and tribulations of life. It isn't just family and friends I go to the river to visit, but also the serenity, the beauty, and the memories the river offers me. Much like the Great Lakes, the St. Lawrence River connects the Great Lakes to the sea. The river connects me to more than just my daily life, and I would be lost without it. Am I proud of him? And I'm sure you have many treasured memories, family memories as well. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being river people. Sherman and I met at graduate school in Syracuse. I had never been north of the university. We were engaged at his family's cottage on the banks of the St. Lawrence River on July 4th, 1948. I looked at the river, and I looked at him, and I thought, boy, you better be as good as this river. And fortunately, he was. I know you will gain important information today and be inspired to continue your active support and love for this river for at least the next 40 years. Thank you.